Transparency is a huge problem in the sustainable investment world, not just for climate, because we focus a lot on climate, even more so with the energy crisis, but also for other types of metrics like biodiversity, diversity of the workforce, social impact. And the current crisis is going to have potentially a huge impact on social issues as well, right? So it's even more important to have some standardization on the data disclosure, having companies, but also governments disclosing, so not just the private sector, but the public sector disclosing more data, keeping their commitments, because if there was a commitment now to move to more renewable energies and governments are going back to coal-fired power plants for political reasons, that's a huge issue. And if governments are not meeting or public sector is not meeting their commitments, private sector might do the same, right?
Yeah, look, it's an absolutely key point you're making there as well. Do you think that governments who are under pressure, the voters under pressure for energy security, actually they're quite happy to have ambiguity, to have opacity, to have rules that maybe leave a little bit of latitude for those investments so that they can actually cater for those other problems rather than the longer-term ESG goals?
Yeah, and exactly. That's part of the problem, that sometimes we don't want to see or we don't want to be told what the issue is. And it's okay to just see the problem and understand the trade-off. And maybe, as you say, the voters, it's willing to make that trade-off to say, okay, I can have maybe a stronger impact on the climate change in the short term, assuming that in the long term this problem is going to be fixed. Or do other trade-offs, maybe cutting consumption or being more efficient in other ways, right? To trade for that, going back to coal-fired power plants. But at the end of the day, we need to look at the data and be transparent with that data. Again, both public and private sector, not just the private sector.